We all have one thing in common. We're all living a life. Waking up every single day, doing whatever we do. But at the end of it all, not everyone will have a story to tell. My story, God willing, will be of exceptionality. I don't know if exceptionality is a word, but a disciplined life. Striving for more, striving for greatness. With the type of life that I'm pursuing, I'll have a lot of stories. I already have a lot of stories from last year alone. But I've realized for me to truly go for what I want, to truly have a story to tell at the end of my life, I have to be committed. There's no way I'll achieve any of my goals if I'm not committed. And the funny thing about life is we're always committed to something. You may not think that you're committed to anything right now, but if you are living this life, if you're waking up and doing something every single day, you're committed to whatever that is. And I know that if you want to do anything that's positive, right, you actually have to be intentionally committed because, as I said, you're already committed to something. You may not believe it, but you are committed to something right now. You know, there's no way to half commit in life. If you aren't committed to becoming a better person, striving to achieve more, do you know what you're committed to? Mediocrity. Like, that's honestly the truth. But you won't even want to admit that or even contemplate its validity. Like I said at the beginning of this video, we're all living a life, but not all of us will have a story to tell at the end of it. So if you want a story to tell at the end of it all, you have to decide what type of story you want, what type of life you're willing to live. And when deciding which type of life you truly want, you have to be okay with both the negatives and the positives. A lot of people want to be the best at something. They want to be high up in a profession, you know, like the best lawyer in the world, best doctor in their country, best musician, whatever you want to be, right? But most times people only want the benefits that come with those positions. They only want the money, the accolades, the recognition, the status. That's all they want. But they don't want the long hours toiling to perfect their craft. They don't want the unbalanced life that it's going to take for you to actually become the best at something. The constant scrutiny from the public. The judgment. You can't just have the icing. You're going to have the full cake. You can't just have the positives. You're going to have to take the negatives too. So truly think about a life that you are willing to have both the positive and the negatives, and a life where you actually kind of appreciate the negatives. For me, I understand with the things that I want to do, a lot of stress is going to come with it, but I like having responsibility. I like being in charge of things. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the stress that's going to come with wondering, like, okay, how can I lead this certain thing in the best direction? How can I do whatever? How can I make sure that these people are okay? I like that type of pressure. Because pressure makes diamonds. And I'm Zimbabwe's very own diamond. You dig? Once you decide the type of life that you're willing to commit to, you have to commit to that life and only that life. In the Bible, Jesus said you can't serve two masters. Though he was referring to money and God, you can use this concept in all areas of your life. You will never be able to fully commit to two things at one time. And when I say fully commit, I mean fully commit. Let's say you want to be the best gym rat in the world. You want to build the best physique. You can't commit to that and then commit to being a Power Ranger. Like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I've found that when you try to commit to two things, it's either one will prevail or you do both of them at a suboptimal level. Like, you might as well just be doing nothing. I've learned that commitment is a moment-by-moment choice. People think that you commit once and then you're committed for the rest of your life. But in each moment, in each day, you have to demonstrate that commitment to yourself. Not only to God, but to yourself. Last Friday, I'd been out the whole day. I left at 8:30. I'd eaten one meal. I was so tired. And I was debating, should I go to the gym? But I chose to go to the gym because I've committed myself to becoming the type of person who just pushes through their feelings, right? So even though I didn't want to go, even though I genuinely was tired, I was like, no, I've committed to becoming a certain type of person. So I need to demonstrate that commitment in this moment. This may be toxic, but I don't view myself with a track record like, I did this in the past, so if I mess up this one time, it's done. I live in the present moment. So what I did yesterday doesn't exist. What I'm going to do tomorrow, who knows? All I focus on is what I'm going to do today. So if today I need to demonstrate a level of commitment, I'm going to demonstrate it, regardless of how I'm feeling. And that shows true commitment. That's why I'm saying you can't serve two masters, because you can't have that level of demonstrated commitment to two different things. Like, I can't be an academic warrior and also be committed to making the best videos, to being the best content creator that Africa's ever seen, perhaps the world. I have to choose one. Really think what type of life you're committing yourself to. Because if you don't think you're committing yourself to anything, you're committing yourself to mediocrity. And none of us want that. So the question is, what are you committing yourself to? And with what you've committed to, at the end of it all, what story will you have to tell?